What's going on, people? What's happening? Happy Tuesday, guys. How we all doing? I hope you lot are doing well. Big up to everyone locked in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. We're back with another daily dose of Minna, and this time I think today is going to predominantly be about outgoings and the conversation about outgoings. Obviously, I think the biggest conversation that's dominating Manchester United transfer news over the last 24 or so hours, and probably from David Ornstein's transfer deal sheet this morning, is Kobbie Mainoo reportedly being open to leaving Manchester United. We are going to talk about that in so much depth, and I'll be dropping a video later this evening as well regarding that. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts, because boy, oh boy, I feel like Man United playing one game a week is good, because we only have to watch Man United once a week. But it's bad for the fan base, because there's a civil war happening right now on social media. And I always say, you know, social media is just it feels like the big majority, but it's a small minority of discourse around football, and there's so much more to football conversations than what you see on social media. But if you're someone who's uses social media as a form of, you know, indulging in content, and especially transfer news, then you've probably seen the big conversation around Kobbie Mainoo reportedly being interested in or potentially exploring his options to leave Manchester United. Now, I can't believe that it's brought us to this. I'll be so honest. I cannot believe, when I saw Kobbie Mainoo make his debut nearly 2 seasons ago, I did not think 2 years from there I'd be sitting here talking about the future of Kobbie Mainoo and basically pleading with Manchester United as to why they shouldn't sell him. Now, I don't know if you lot remember, but months ago it was reported that Manchester United would listen to offers for Garnacho and Mainoo. Both of them were actually mentioned, because we already know that's 100% profit for Manchester United from a PSR perspective. But now, when I think you have an unsettled player, it might add to that. It really might add to that. And can I just say one thing? No, if you don't want Kobbie Mainoo to be sold, that doesn't make you player FC. And if you want Kobbie Mainoo to be sold, that doesn't make you manager FC. This idea that it's either you're on the player side or you're on the manager side, you can back Amorim, and you can maybe support Amorim, and you can maybe have belief in Ruben Amorim, but you can also believe that Manchester United should not let Kobbie Mainoo go. Both things can be true at the same time. The same way it can be true that you could want Kobbie Mainoo not to go, but you want Ruben Amorim to leave, and you might not, and you could want Ruben Amorim to stay. And I know I've seen people out there that actually want Kobbie Mainoo to leave and believe that he's not good enough. Can I just say one thing though? And we're going to go into it in depth, of course. I want to hear everybody's opinions on this. So please get involved in the comment section, in the chat. I'm going to go through the chat, of course, during the stream. But we're also going to talk about Rasmus Hojlund to Napoli. We're going to talk about Anthony to Real Betis. We're also going to talk about Man United's goalkeeper search. And we are also going to talk about, there's not really much to talk about with Jadon Sancho, can I just say, which is a state of sorry affairs. But we will be talking about Garnacho and, of course, his agent, Fabrizio Romano, who's still talking about him, continuously giving us irrelevant information. So make sure you lot get involved in the chat. I want to hear what everyone has to say. Big up to Nicole says, if me wanting Kobbie to stay as player FC over Amorim, then yes, I am player FC now. Big up Hungry Belly says, selling Kobbie would be catastrophic for us beyond the footballing angle. Big up to Nahome says, Kobbie for me needs to prove himself, but also needs an opportunity to prove himself. I don't think he's generational. He's elite dribbler. Everything else is debatable. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Cass is saying, I can't lie, if Mainoo goes, my head will be hot. Let's get into it. Let's really get into it. Where should we start with? Do I have normally I've got my pictures ready, but today it's just not in the order that I expected. Here, let's start with where this information has come from, first and foremost. So make sure you hit the like button. Every Tuesday, if you guys do not know, every Tuesday the Athletic drop the transfer deal sheet, where they give updates on a lot of transfer news within the Premier League. And in this little section here is where Kobbie Mainoo was mentioned for Manchester United's area. Mark Critchley and Laurie Whitwell at The Athletic have said that Kobbie Mainoo is open to leaving Manchester United. Head coach Ruben Amorim seems to prefer other midfielders, and the England international has entered the final 24 months of his Old Trafford contract. The issue is where Mainoo goes, as there does not appear to be many options ahead of this market. So this is just talking about this specific transfer window. David Ornstein also said, another reporter last night, there was you know what Man United are doing, I think, and I'm not saying, I do think this is tactical for sure from Manchester United. They are leaking reports about salary demands. It's being reported that he's asking for beyond 180k. I don't care about that stuff. Quite frankly, I don't care about that stuff. But it has been confirmed that over 10 teams are interested in Kobbie Mainoo, both within the Premier League and within Europe. And David Ornstein also has confirmed that Ruben Amorim prefers other midfielders to Kobbie Mainoo. Now, despite the fact that he's got two years left on his contract, I still think him not signing a deal last year was a telling factor that he's definitely exploring his options. And I don't blame him. I really don't blame him, because I've seen this narrative flying around a lot about Kobbie Mainoo, which is very weird, because I feel like in the space of 2 years, I feel like people have just flipped on Kobbie. Like, I don't know what it is, because in that year under Eric Ten Hag, when he made his debut, and then, you know, he for me, then the following year he scored in the FA Cup. You know, was in the FA Cup final, an important part for England in the Euros. Let's not downplay how different England looked the second Kobbie came into that midfield with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. But I feel like people have just switched the narrative on him. So he's gone from being a generational talent or an academy product that sits at a table with other people, like the likes of, you know, I saw people talking about the what's that award that they give at the Ballon d'Or for like the best young player? Lamine Yamal won that last year. Kobbie Mainoo came third. He came third. This is a kid that has been City wanted him. Golden Boy Award. There you go. Golden Boy Award. City wanted him. Many teams, I think, if they would jump at the team, I think they would jump at the opportunity of Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know how the conversation and the narrative has shifted within the space of less than 12 months. Less than 12 months, this conversation about Kobbie Mainoo has gone from him being a generational talent and one of the best academy talents that United have produced in the last 5 or so years, and, you know, someone that I expect to have a long career at Manchester United, to suddenly he's not good enough for Ruben Amorim. If Ruben Amorim will know best. If Ruben Amorim doesn't want him, then there's something wrong with him. Oh, he's slow. Oh, he's not agile. Oh, he's not mobile. Oh, he's weak. Oh, he doesn't have strength. Oh, he can't play off the ball. Oh, he can't play in a single pip. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the way that everybody or not everyone, I'm not going to paint us all with the same brush, but I'm shocked at how everybody has, like, I remember saying this on UV when he made his debut, and I remember because it got clipped and it went on social media and it went on UV clips, and I remember saying, guys, so many people are going to want to hate on Kobbie Mainoo, and this is when he was just coming in to the first team. I said, we have to defend him because he's one of our academy kids. If you do not want him to do well, then I don't think you want anyone to do, like, what Man United is built on. And I think people overlook this a lot as well. What Man United is built on is hard work, sacrifice, youth, courage. They had it on the back of a shirt, youth, courage, and something else. We've had 2 back-to-back games where there hasn't been an academy player in the starting 11 or a used sub. Back-to-back games. Previous managers were slated for that. Previous managers were actually slated for not using the youth enough. And you've got a, in my opinion, good enough young player on the bench, and we have to believe that he's not good enough for Ruben Amorim. It's sad. It's actually really, really sad. Kobbie should want to leave. If Amorim won't play him, someone else will. He may not be elite for me, but he's more than good enough to start. I agree. This is the thing, is like, I am upset that this conversation is even happening, but I have my utmost respect for Kobbie for him to explore life away from Manchester United. I don't want him to, but he's good enough to be a great player anywhere. So I actually think, guys, this is a big hot take. I don't know. Let me know if you think this is a hot take. Man United letting go of Kobbie Mainoo is as bad as, maybe even worse than what they did with Paul Pogba. I don't know if you guys agree, but Paul Pogba barely even played in the senior team, so I don't think there was any room to miss what you never had. And I think Pogba going to Juve obviously developed him into the player that he is. The fact that Kobbie has had multiple years in the academy, the fact that he's had multiple years in, the first team, won trophies with the first team. He jumped the step, can I say, with the England team, because he got a call up to under 21s and they said, you know what, bun that, you're coming straight to the first team. And he went to the Euros and became pivotal for them in the Euros. I think it's worse. I think it's as bad as Pogba. You lot are saying it's worse. It's worse than Pogba because he's contributed numerous times. I hear that. At least we had good players when Pogba left. That's true. I think with Pogba, I would say you don't know what you had because you never really got to experience it. With Kobbie, you don't know what you got till it's gone. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Excuse me. King, big up to King, says, name a game where Kobbie was a midfield maestro or dominated the midfield. I saw Kobbie Mainoo. I could give you, by the way, King, many examples, and I'm sure people in the chat can as well. I watched Kobbie Mainoo start in his Premier League debut against Everton and bossed the game for 90 minutes. Do you know how mad you have to be? How good of a player you have to be to do that on your debut? When it's literally men versus boys. He's a teenager. And that's just one example I'm giving you off the top of my head. I could give you multiple examples. Liverpool, FA Cup final, especially in that first year, can I say, under Erik ten Hag, was probably his most impressive year. But that's just one example that I can give you. Let me see what else you are saying. Pogba left for free and was bought back for 80 million. Not exactly the same. I don't think I can't say it's the same verbatim when you take into consideration all the factors, but I'm talking in terms of a young academy player destined for greatness. The only difference is I think Pogba had no impact on United. Like, he hadn't really played for them, hadn't really had much. Like, Kobbie has had a number of years in the first team, so I think it's quite different. And yes, Manchester United brought him back for 80 million, and if Man United sell Kobbie, it's a different thing. But you don't sell academy players when your whole status as a football club is built on young youth, your academy. Like, I think we're overlooking quite a few factors. Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. We've had so many lows as United fans in the last few years. The next low would be selling Kobbie to City or Liverpool for a few million. Don't say that. I don't think United would ever sell him to City or Liverpool. They don't need it. Neither team also, can I say, need him. Unless they get Pedri back, I don't see us getting someone better than Kobbie currently. It's interesting how divided everyone is over this. I didn't think, by the way, that this Kobbie thing would have people so divided. Let me actually bring up Kobbie's. I want to bring up his stats over the last couple of seasons with Manchester United. I'm trying to find the best stats. This is actually nuts. Can I bring this up? Is it letting me bring it up? For some reason, it's not letting me bring this. And you know what? I don't even want to show that because it wasn't the best of seasons last year, even for him. What year are we in, guys? We are in 2025. Let me try to bring up data from 2025. We should not sell Kobbie at all. Worst case scenario, loan him and bring him back when Amorim is sacked and Bruno's sold. Chelsea loan out good players all the time. Kobbie has 3 years left on his deal. I think Kobbie has 2 years left on his deal, and obviously if he enters his final year, you know, he can leave on a free, which I kind of get why Man United want to get him a new deal done. And I don't know what it is, can I just say, yeah, but why is it as soon as I saw yesterday evening after I wrapped up the Daily Dose of Minna, as soon as I wrapped that up, I see reports about Kobe exploring a move potentially away from Manchester United. And literally within about 20 or so minutes, I saw reports of, oh, he's asking for 180k a week and Manchester United don't want to give him that. Why is that? Why is that the kind of stuff that we see? Anyways, I want to bring up his debut year. Because I think what's messed up Kobe Mainoo last season in particular was the injuries that he had. I think that's probably what messed him up the most. But he was a regular once he made his debut against. Can I just say, once he made this debut against Everton, he became a regular asset used. He was a regular asset used by Eric Ten Hag. This was at the time of Eric Ten Hag, guys. He was consistently used, whether as a starting player. Look at this. In that season, when he returned back from injury, so he came back from injury in November. By the time he came back from injury in November, he played, he was in the squad 29 times and he started 24 of those games. So out of 29 games that he was in the matchday squad, he started 24 of that. This idea that he miraculously, can I say, has become poor over 12 months, I think it's not a conversation to be had. That's another thing. Bruno surely needs to be leaving next year. Kobe has a near enough guaranteed starter role next year. Run him some minutes on loan. Do you guys think? What's the thoughts of him going on loan? I don't think a player like Kobe goes on loan. I think you go on loan when you're not good enough to get into the squad, or the manager doesn't want you, or the manager don't want you, but they can't sell you. That's when you go on loan. Look at all the players at United that have gone on loan over the last couple of seasons. Marcus Rashford wasn't wanted by Ruben Amorim. Anthony wasn't wanted. Donny van der Beek was not wanted. Alvaro Fernandez, look at him. I'm seeing Real Madrid fans love Alvaro Fernandez, and he ain't even been there for that long. But look at all the players that have left to go on loan. It's always because either the manager don't want you, or you need some playing time because you ain't got first team experience. So if Kobe was to go on loan, for me, it's the latter, not the former. It's because the manager don't want him, and I don't understand personally. I don't understand how Kobe Mainoo can be in competition with Bruno for a position. If you lot don't know what I'm talking about, Ruben Amorim said after the game, he said after the game against Fulham that Kobe is competing with Bruno, and Ugarte is competing with Casemiro. And I just couldn't comprehend the idea that Kobe Mainoo and Bruno are playing in the same position. That should never be the case. That should not be the case. Bruno, as much as I like Bruno, and I think, I think this year I'm telling you a lot now, we're only in the second game of the season. Bruno is going to be the scapegoat throughout everything that goes wrong in the season, right? People are going to scapegoat him. Even sometimes when he shouldn't be in the wrong, they will still scapegoat him. But Bruno is a player that's playing out of position. Amorim tried this experiment of Kobe at the 10. He tried this, all these different experiments, false 9 last season. But Bruno is not the man that you play in a 2-man midfield. He's not. So you're telling me that the only way, hypothetically speaking, if Kobe plays, is if Bruno plays in the 10 or he's dropped. And we know what's happening. He's not getting dropped. So it has to be Bruno in the 10. Now, tomorrow I anticipate that Kobe will play in the Grimsby game. My expectation is that he will play. But then on the weekend against Burnley, I mean, when you got Hannibal Mejbri and whatnot in running around like dogs in the midfield, I don't know if starting with Bruno is the right idea. I'm trying to support Amorim, but he's really starting to pee me off with favoritism and not playing to win. I actually want to speak about this, not about Amorim, but something he said in a press conference today. He said something, and this is his quote verbatim, yeah, because I know, like, one thing that I've praised him for is being very well spoken as a manager. But I just thought, what the hell is this? Now, if you don't remember yesterday, even in my match reaction after the Fulham game, I did mention Altay Bayindir doesn't really fill me with any ease at set pieces, right? And I think we've seen it time and time again every time he starts. I think teams have realized, you think teams taking shots from everywhere against Onana is a game plan. Teams are working to get set pieces and slap an in-swinger into the box to target Altay Bayindir every time, because they know how Man United defend from set pieces, particularly in the zonal marking strategy. But also they know, in my opinion, Altay Bayindir is like a Flappy Bird when it comes to when it comes to claiming crosses and set pieces against opponents. He is the most unconvincing goalkeeper for me. And Ruben Amorim in the presser today, he defended Altay Bayindir, which I expect him to do because that's your player. I haven't really seen him bash him. But I was shocked at what he said. It kind of confused me a little bit. He said, I think you are focused a lot on the opponent's corners, but if you remember the game against Fulham, we had our chances and even scored a goal from a set piece. We had a penalty. We had at least one in the end near the post. Tell me one game in the Premier League that you didn't see a big occasion from a corner. That will happen in every game. And it's just that final part that I don't like, because I think it's ignoring the issue with Altay Bayindir at set pieces. Whoever asked this question, is not trying to draw Ruben Amorim out or get him to bash Altay Bayindir. But for me, I think he's being a little bit obtuse, because Altay Bayindir's lack of, I think, confidence from set pieces, especially corners. Yeah, Man United didn't score from it, but had it been any other team that knew how to use their aerial threats, and I'm not going to lie, Fulham kept missing the ball, but the ball was getting in dangerous places. Now, you slap a Dan Burn there, or you slap a Virgil van Dijk there, or you slap Gabriel there, I promise you, they're scoring every single time from that. They are probably going to score from that every single time. So this idea that, it happens in games where there's where there's basically moments from set pieces, it happens in every game. Yes, but also can I say that I think Man United experience those moments a lot more than opponents do. I watched Liverpool versus Newcastle last night. Great game, by the way. Can I say that was prime Barclays football? Yeah, very electric, exciting. As a rival, seeing Newcastle players basically and Liverpool players nearly break each other. Very fun to watch. But also, I saw Alisson comfortably deal with set pieces. I also saw Nick Pope deal with set pieces too. I didn't, at any point watching them, I didn't think, ooh, they might concede from here. So this idea that, yeah, everyone experiences these big occasions from corners, I don't think so. Sometimes I feel like it's only Man United that do. I will judge Amorim on if he drops Bruno against Grimsby for Mainoo. If he tries to fit Bruno in and Mount somehow in the lineup, then it's favoritism simply. I don't know if, I know people use the thing favoritism a lot. I just think when something works for Ruben Amorim, he's not going to change it. And I don't agree with it, but I'm just pointing that out. When you look back to last season, what worked in Europa League, especially in the latter stages of the Europa League, is what he persisted with in the final. I don't agree with that. The same way, I don't agree just because Mason Mount had a decent game against Arsenal and he's been fit all pre-season, I don't think he should be starting. That's just my opinion. So I don't think this idea of favoritism, I think Ruben Amorim is very pragmatic in a lot of his approaches. You're 1-1 in a game. I think Ruben Amorim will try see it out where other teams or other managers might try go for the win, And I remember reading a quote. Let me see if I can actually find the quote here. I remember reading a quote from Jose Mourinho when he did an interview recently, which kind of stood out to me because it does remind me a little bit of what I'm seeing right now. He said, there was an interview that Jose Mourinho said about coaches, and he was saying you also have those coaches who try to do things that just don't work, and because of that they die. But they say, I died, but I died by my ideas. My friend, if you died by your ideas, you're stupid. And that's what I feel like we're watching unfold in front of us. And I just like, I've seen, by the way, big people in football genuinely say that they got no faith in Ruben Amorim. I don't think you will see, like, I was listening to the Wayne Rooney podcast yesterday, and he was talking about, like, this is the time for results. Like, Amorim's got no time to talk anymore. There's no more talking left. This is the time to get results. And that says a lot. That's coming from Wayne Rooney, that's been sacked by how many teams as a manager. But also, I think if anything, he will know best, or not he will know best, but he will know more than others, and definitely he'll know more than what we're privy to say. I was at a talk last week that he was given, and I remember this is why I respect Wayne Rooney, because no matter what, he will always say what he thinks, because he said how he sat on Match of the Day one day and ripped into Johnny Evans, saying, why is Johnny Evans still playing for Man United? And he said, Johnny Evans is one of my best friends. He was like, I saw him the next day on Monday. We hung out. But he was like, I had to say the truth. And that's why I always listen to what people like Wayne Rooney have to say about the club, because they'll be honest. And that Jose Mourinho quote that he said in an interview is what I think sums up a lot of managers that have been at Manchester United. Now, Thomas Frank is a perfect example. I think Thomas Frank is a perfect example. This idea that I was having this debate with my sister the other day, who's also a United fan, right? And she was saying, he was saying, oh, we have to give Amorim time, blah, 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 blah. And I was playing devil's advocate, and I was like, look at Thomas Frank. Yeah. Thomas Frank has played 2 different games. Yeah. 3, if you want to, what's it called? 3, if you want to mention the Super Cup. Yeah. But he's played 2 games in the Premier League so far. And I've seen him set up, and I've seen Spurs play in 2 different ways. The opening week, I saw them playing with essentially what looked like a back 5 with wing backs. Kudus and Richarlison, Kudus playing off of him like a second striker, completely different to what I saw against City, right? And that is what I think makes you a good manager. You can have your philosophies, you can have, all the buzzwords, style of football, system, etc. But I think when you approach most games or 90% games with a rigid system that doesn't change depending on your opponent, then I think there's cause for concern. And yeah, I think I don't know. I'm very concerned about Ruben Amorim. I can't lie. Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. It's just media feeding into the drivel of Mainoo versus Bruno. He ain't going anywhere. It's simple for Mainoo. Sign the contract and commit the future. Be a squad player and develop, then take over. Let me be devil's advocate just for 1 minute in response to this comment here. I don't think Kobbie Mainoo is a squad player. I actually do not think Kobbie Mainoo. I think it's an insult to suggest that Kobbie Mainoo is a starter. And yes, there's nothing wrong with having multiple starters on your bench because depth is important. But this idea that he can be a squad player and then develop, absolutely not. I think he develops not from being a squad player. I don't think he develops. I think he improves. But I think he's a star, especially unless you're telling me Man United got Vitinha and they got Pedri and they got they've got those cream of the crop midfielders, Barella, etc., etc. Then I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I hear it. But when you're telling me all Man United have, and by the way, I think Man United, we are the weakest. I think we are the weakest in midfield out of all positions when it comes to quality and depth. I don't think we should. This is the approach that we should be going through. Look at how Frank is managing Sarr at Spurs. I interviewed Sarr last week. I think it should be out. The interview should be out soon. He's such a baller. Like, honestly, he's a baller. But also, I think he's so adapt. Like, he can play in a midfield too. He can play in that 10, especially with Maddison being out. And because he's got so much energy, so much legs, he can run for days. I think any team benefits from Sarr. I really think that. Kobbie should get game time. Amorim doesn't know how to use him. I think there's a bigger conversation, can I just say, about Kobe Mainoo. And I think the bigger conversation is why is a team that historically has had youth at the forefront of their initiatives, why have we over the last decade pushed out so many academy players? I genuinely think there's a bigger conversation to be had surrounding this topic about Kobe Mainoo, because I said this yesterday, but in the last decade, you look at the players that United have produced through their academy. I'm thinking of the play. It's really Kobe Mainoo, Scott McTominay, Marcus Rashford, Greenwood. Those are probably the best 4 players that United have produced in the last 10 years. Then you look at all the players that have left and gone on to do other stuff. You've got Angel Gomez, you've got Alvaro Fernandez, you've got Garner, you've got Alanga, Hannibal Mejbri. Like, we need to have an honest conversation of what it means for, like, Man United having Carrington kids, because I fear that in the next number of years, like under Ineos, I'm worried and scared that we might go down the path of Chelsea, where it comes to just selling their academy players for whatever and wherever they can, send them to. I think for a team that has historically had youth at the forefront of everything they do, I just feel like there's a conversation to be had about this Kobe Mainoo thing. Only Alanga's gone on to ball in the Premier League after leaving us. I don't care about further leagues. I think Garner's doing well at Everton. He's a top player. I think Angel Gomez has done well for himself so far. He's at Marseille now, but he was at Lille. I think Alvaro Fernandez is doing an amazing job. He's Real Madrid's starting left back. Probably will win a lot of. So he might win a league title before Manchester United do. We won't know, but Marcus Rashford, we'll see what happens with him. Mejbri, I would say he's done a good job at Burnley. He might not be Man United level, but I think he's done a decent job. So I think it's quite harsh to say that. Let's talking about academy players. It's expected that Garnacho will go to Chelsea despite 2 rejected bids. Talks are continuing with the anticipation that a deal will get done, possibly even on deadline day. Chelsea are keen on the winger, but his arrival will depend on outgoings and club-to-club negotiations. This has come from David Ornstein. It's also been reported that Chelsea value him at about 35 million now. I don't know if you guys have seen, but my wallahi, I need to know. Honestly, guys, all jokes aside, I need to know how much Fabrizio gets paid to tweet about Garnacho and to talk about Garnacho. Genuinely speaking, I need to know how much he gets paid, because the amount of posts and comments that I'm seeing from Fabrizio, and I'm not even saying like it's the same, it's not even like the same thing, like, oh, just a little update. He's given us quotes from Garnacho. He's giving us quotes directly coming from Garnacho. Let me say, so he's saying that I've been told that a Saudi club called again in recent days to ask about the situation, why Garnacho is still not gone to Chelsea. Can we enter the deal? The answer was the same as always. Thanks, but it's not about money. Garnacho wants to play for Chelsea. Listen, when you've got an update, just let us know. Like, when there's further information, just let us know. He charges 1K for a 20-minute interview. No way. So, like, when he's going on all these these people's channels and that, are they paying him to come on? I thought he was just being a nice guy. I genuinely thought he was just I thought it was just like relationships in the industry. So I thought he was just going on for that reason. 35 million max, no way. Let him rot in the reserves. 50 million base fee or nothing. 55 million for Chelsea. If United can get 50 million for him, take it and go, man. Take it and go. I personally just want this saga done. Like, I just want this saga over and done with. And I think, and I also, another thing is even if Garnacho leaves, guys, even if he leaves or if he stays and he rots, if United are doing bad, you guys know the conversations that are going to come out. Oh, see, this is what happens when you fall out with Rashford and you fall out with Garnacho and you fall out with this person, etc., etc. Listen, guys, we've got over 100 people here. Let's try and hit 100 likes. I got an announcement to make. I don't know if I should make the guys. I have a big announcement. Should I make it at the end of the stream or should I make a video making the announcement? I don't know. I haven't decided. I might just make a video, but it will be a very short video. It won't hit 8 minutes, so I can't even monetize it. But I think I might do a video to make the announcement. I can't see how we get money if we repeatedly kicked him out of the squad and tell him to get out. That's on the club and the manager. Fairs. I just, with this Garnacho thing, similar to like, I think it's harsh that I have my thoughts on this guy here. I have my opinions on him, but he's done more, like in the window. Like he's trained, he's not disrespected the club. The club have tried to sell him or advertised him to so many people. It does sound like he's going to Napoli with a 5 million loan option. And then a 40 million euro option to buy. The option will become mandatory under certain conditions, including, and it's linked to appearances, goals, and above all, qualification for next season's Champions League. I think Napoli will be in another title race, so they will probably qualify for Champions League, which could be the easiest 40 million euros that Manchester United make. And if they get that for Rasmus Hojlund next season and he finds himself in the Italian league, I think he should just stay there. If I'm being honest, I think he should just stay there. But can you guys believe that with this whole bomb squad nonsense, the next potential outgoing at Manchester United ain't even gonna be someone from the bomb squad? Meanwhile, Sancho on the other hand, I don't even know what's happening with him. Was this a joke, or did I see that he got a tattoo of Sweetie's name on his neck or something? Is that legit? And apparently he spelt it wrong. No wonder he can't take a pay cut and go elsewhere. He's caught in people like he's caught in singers. Like, you know how much money you gotta have to be dating a singer. Of course he ain't taking a pay cut. Of course he ain't taking a pay. He needs the money, man. These singers are eligible candidates for NFL players and NBA players and musicians. Of course, Jadon Sancho needs his money. Of course. Sancho, I don't even know what's happening with him, can I just say? I don't know what's happening with him. And one day, guys, when he leaves, by the way, when he leaves, I might have to come on a stream and show you all the United shirts that I got with Sancho. Is the reason why, by the way, I stopped putting names on the back of my Man United shirts. Because I got like 4 Sancho shirts. I think maybe even 5. I might give them away to charity, Anybody wants Sancho shirts from United, let me know. But I stopped getting Sancho. I stopped getting names on the back of my shirt because of Jadon Sancho, because I was so gassed when we got him. Had I known how things would turn out 5 years later, I can't believe it's been nearly 5 years. I would have been like, what the hell? But anyways, Rasmus Hojlund. I don't know why we started talking about Sancho. But Rasmus Hojlund, why would you get the same one 5 times? I think it was like 3 different across the course of 2 seasons. I think it was like across the course of 2 seasons. Because I used to, back in the day, the old me, you lot know I love football shirts, right? So when it comes to United, I love collecting United shirts. I used to get multiple shirts in a season. So I'd get the home kit, the away kit, the alternative kit. But then I'd get like multiple of each. So I'd sometimes get it plain. Sometimes I'd get it with a name on the back. So the year that Ronaldo came, I think I got 3 Ronaldo shirts that year. But then I also got Sancho shirts. So that's why I had multiple players, multiple shirts with his name. I wish Rasmus Hojlund all the best. And I do hope, I really hope, I hope he does well. Because if he does well, then it's a positive news. It's positive news for Manchester United. Mainoo, do you play fantasy? Can't tell if it's a good idea to swap Ahmad for Kudus yet. Yes, I do play fantasy football. Not like I'm not in any leagues outside of my family leagues and my friends' leagues. One thing I will say though, guys, I'm not even kidding. Look at this, guys. This is my fantasy team. This is how I did this week. Yeah, I don't put any United players in there. I do not put any United player in fantasy football. I feel like when I'm playing fantasy football, I take my Man United hat off and I just put my football hat on. How many points did I get this week? I got 63 points, which is actually not bad. I'm only top of one of my league. I'm fourth in my family league. I'm fourth in my Warzone league with my friends. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I had to take Frimpong out this weekend, sorry, because obviously he got injured. And I think, do you know what shocks me about FPL, guys? How many more jerseys of the bomb squad you got? I think I got a couple of Rashford shirts. That's it. But you know what shocks me about FPL is like, how do people just triple captain a random person like Timber or something like João Pedro? And then they go off that week. Like, seriously, do you know how every year I have tried to do my triple captain? Yeah, 3 points. Well, like every year, I remember one year I thought, yeah, Liverpool, I had Salah, and I was like, Liverpool versus Luton, let me triple captain Salah. Well, like that was one of the worst performances I saw from Salah that week. So I need to know these FPL people. But then one of my friends was telling me how a lot of people, I don't know if it's true, but they were telling me how a lot of people like follow these. So they told me, they have multiple accounts. Number one, number two, they also do this thing where they like watch FPL content creators, and then they basically just copy their team, which is crazy to me because I promise you guys, I need to look at what's gonna happen with Cole Palmer, but I don't put Man United players in my FPL, and this is why I always tell people that are like focused on on Man United. I always say like, don't put Man United players in your FPL right now. There's no point doing that. Do you get rewards in FPL like money if you win? I think if you get the most points in the whole of FPL for the week, I think you get a gift. You get something from the Premier League, and then I think depending on the leagues that you're in, some people do rewards in that. But my captain is Salah, and you know Mohamed Salah is so funny, man. No matter what, he's walking away with a GA somehow, some way. But I got Salah in my team. So let me show you my team. My team's all right. My bench is dead. My bench is dead. So this is my team. If you can see, I've got Mateta, João Pedro, and Bowen up front, but I'm thinking of taking Bowen out. Then I got Palmer and Jai, Shirky, and Salah in the midfield. I'm thinking of taking out Shirky, I'm not gonna lie. And then my backline is Gabriel, Pedro, Porro, and Einar. And then my keeper is Leno. I always try to have fullbacks in my I make my whole backline fullbacks just because I think they're more likely to get you a lot of points than maybe like someone like centre backs are. And I'm trying. This is my first year, I think, that I haven't had Hojlund. Palmer ain't playing this week. He missed training. Yeah, I saw he was at Carnival yesterday in disguise. If your bench isn't dead, you ain't playing, right? Facts. You know what I do sometimes? I put all the players that I want in the team, and then the rest I just pick random people. Like that's how I used to do. That's how I used to do it back in the day. But let's quickly talk about goalkeepers because we've been talking about goalkeepers. What do you guys think about this signing, by the way? It's been reported that Manchester United are edging closer to signing the goalkeeper. Let me pronounce his name properly. Sen Lamens. Man United entered negotiations with Antwerp for the goalkeeper, and they're pushing to sign him. He would be part of a 4-man strong goalkeeping unit alongside Bayinda, Onana, Tom Heaton. Number one. Number two, it's expected that he would be integrated into the team. He wouldn't come in as the number one. And it also leaves Man United with a lot of depth, even when Onana is expected to travel for AFCON. I mean, we're talking about Onana traveling for AFCON. Does the manager even want to play Onana? That's the question. Because I really think Ruben Amorim is making a statement based on the people that he's not using. Like, I think it's clear as day. We can use the idea of United need depth and etc. etc. But I genuinely think that Onana not playing, and I'm not saying we should play him, but I think Onana should see that him not playing is a message from the manager. Man United going out to sign a goalkeeper in the window is a message from Manchester United. I think that's pretty obvious. Maybe we should try Ter Stegen. Absolutely not. Ter Stegen as in Ter Stegen that's injured Ter Stegen. Are we talking about Ter Stegen? That's like the same Ter Stegen. Barca want to get rid of him because he earns so much money. Number one. Number two. Number one, he earns so much money, and number two, he's out injured for like 5 months. Big up to MUFC 14, been a member for 21 months. That's basically since memberships has been around, guys. Says, welcome to join my FPL Free Palestine, and that's the code. So make sure you lot go and join MUFC. I'm actually part of that league. I was trying to figure out whose league that was. Let me see where I am in that league. I'm 49th, which ain't too bad. Out of how many people? Only 68 people, damn. I'm 49th in that league. How's the person that's top of that league got 95 points this week? Nah, there's hackers in this league, man. Guys, don't join this league. Don't join this league. But yeah, go and join MUFC 14's league, guys. You see the code right there. I'm part of it as well. But yeah, definitely can't be the Ter Stegen that we're talking about, because that Ter Stegen is not Ter Stegen. He's dead. Ter Stegen is dead. Not literally, but like figuratively. Honestly, whoever we play are gonna have errors. They both are not good enough. I just think with Sen Lemons, I think Sen Lemons. I think Lemons is his name. Sen Lemons. Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. I can't say that I know much about him. I haven't watched much of him. I've seen clips of him. I'm not gonna sit there and watch his tape, but I think if he's a cheap player, 23 euros, 23 million apparently the United are gonna try get him for. But I seen people doing analysis of him, kind of equating him to being similar to David De Gea when Man United brought him. We're going to talk about that a bit more in person. How many likes are we on? We are on 82 likes. Let's try get to 100 likes. 18 people like it. If 18 people like, I will make my announcement. Actually, no, I don't. I actually think I can't make my announcement yet. And you know what's so funny, guys? I'm hyping it so much. Imagine it's not an announcement worth making. But yeah, I actually can't make the announcement just yet because I don't think I've actually signed my contract yet. But no, for those of you that's asking if I'm going to take over from Ruben Amorim, nah, I'm not. I'm not going to be taking over from Ruben Amorim. But I think Man United's final potential transfer move for the window is probably going to be a goalkeeper. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen, but I've seen this graphic on The Athletic this morning. Let me go up. And I would really, I used to freelance for The Athletic, but this is not a sponsored ad. I would really encourage you lot to get a £1 subscription with The Athletic if you genuinely indulge in as much football content as I do. Like, I indulge in so much football on a day-to-day basis. If I'm not watching a podcast, I'm listening. If I'm not listening, I'm reading an article. If I'm not doing any of that, I'm watching football. So having an Athletic subscription for me just makes sense because I can do it on the go. I can do it on my computer, etc., etc. Now, I saw this, which was showing what Premier League teams have spent versus what they've received. Now, it does say what we've spent in this window, but we do know that this 197 million that Manchester United have spent, we know that the amount that they spent on Cunha is in the previous financial window. But do you see that zero? Do you see the zero here? Look at this. Chelsea, of course, we know they make bank. Liverpool have made a lot of money from selling. City, Forest, Sunderland, Spurs. The only other team I think that have made no money from selling people is Fulham, but Fulham haven't brought anyone. Fulham have not brought anyone. Am I the only person worried about how little Manchester United are making strides for the players that they've been trying to sell? Because bear in mind, these players that United are trying to sell, we've been trying to sell them all window. We have really been trying to sell them all window. It's not something that has just popped up out of nowhere, right? It's not something that's popped up in the window out of nowhere. Now, I don't know, come Monday, deadline day, I will do a stream, by the way, for deadline day, as I do for all deadline days. So I'll be doing a stream in the lead up to the deadline. I don't know, come deadline day, how many people will be sold by then. I mean, we've got how many days left? 6 days? They were given complicated contracts. I don't think so. I think I think each player is still here because of a different reason. So I think Antony's still here because Betis can't afford to pay what Man United want. They don't want to send him on loan. Garnacho is still here because Chelsea don't like. Garnacho is not on a big contract. The person who had the biggest contract or one of the biggest contracts took a pay cut to leave. I think that says a lot. Marcus Rashford took a pay cut. It wasn't a big pay cut because Barcelona stupidly were still happy to pay 85% of his wages, but he still took a pay cut to get out. Jadon Sancho, we've established already on this stream that he's not taking a pay cut because he needs to, fund his girlfriend, sweetie. Publicly denouncing players isn't doing us any help. Sheila says the lads are mostly making themselves unsellable. Garnacho, Antony, Malacia. I forgot Malacia even exists, by the way, guys. Garnacho, Antony, Malacia, Sancho. 4 players. How many do you think are gone by deadline day or by the time the deadline passes? The way Garnacho is holding out for Chelsea, he better hope and pray they take him. Like, honestly speaking, the fact that Chelsea are linked to Fermin Lopez right now might restrict them financially. Didn't we sell Malacia? Not that I'm aware of. But I hope, like, I like Fermin Lopez, by the way. I really like him. Last season, I think he was really good for Barca. But I hope Chelsea sign him. Because then Garnacho will realize that he ain't going anywhere. Antony, I think, will leave. I think Antony will leave. I think he'll go on loan again. I think Rasmus is not part of the bomb squad, but I think he's gone too. I think Sancho, either United pay him out on deadline day and release him, or he ends up taking a pay cut to leave on deadline day. But the options for him sound limited. Garnacho is going to mess about and end up in Saudi. I don't think so. I don't think he goes to Saudi. Like, I actually think he thinks that he's got a bit of, like, he can pull his weight around and flex his muscles on United. I think he genuinely thinks, you know what, I can do what I think I'm going to do, which is wait it out for Chelsea. And you know what? I hope Chelsea never come knocking for him. Genuinely speaking, that's why I hope they sign Fermin Lopez. Just to be like, ha ha. Like, I just want to be like the Garnacho, ha ha. I mean, it doesn't help the way everything played out with him. The manager, I always said this even when it happened. I said the manager's not guilty free in all of this. But I'm sick and tired of, yes, players, I think, you know what? This is why I always say I rate Rashford going to Villa when he did, because he knew he had to just go somewhere before he could get that move to Barca. Sancho has to be sick of Sancho. Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. With the Sancho thing, it's just like, I don't know why United haven't paid him out. I mean, yeah, he's on 13 million a year, but he's got 1 year left on his deal. Just let him go, man. Just get rid of him. Terminate his contract. I seen, who is it? Aubameyang's contract get terminated at Arsenal. Like, just for where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But listen, guys, have we hit 100 likes? I hope we have. We haven't hit. We ain't nowhere even near 100 likes. I think you lot are doing this on purpose. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Like I said, be sure to subscribe as well. I got to run because I've taken up a new sport, guys. If you lot were keeping up with my injury over the summer, I have recovered from my knee injury, thank God, alhamdulillah. I've taken up a new sport, which is called paddle. And I just don't know why I didn't start playing this sooner. Because I've never really been like a tennis player. Like, tennis for me is difficult. I've enjoyed table tennis. I used to enjoy table tennis. Badminton's all right. But paddle is where it's at, guys. Paddle is actually where it's at. And I'm really, really enjoying it to a point where I'm thinking, oh my God, should I invest in a racket? Because I don't have a racket at the moment. I just like rent a racket from where I play paddle. What's paddle? So paddle is like, how can we describe paddle, guys? It's like tennis mixed with table tennis mixed with squash. Like, I can't describe it, but you play with a smaller, right? It's outdoor squash, yeah, and you can hit the ball against the wall and all of that. Is it like pickleball? Yes, I think it's like pickleball. I think it is. But suddenly, I don't know what's happened, guys, but in the last like year or two, paddle has become so big in Europe and even like in the Middle East. So when I was in Saudi, I saw a lot of paddle courts. But it's become such a big thing. But I've been really enjoying it to a point where like I'm thinking of maybe getting my first racket. I'm really thinking of getting my first racket. But yeah, I think it's similar to pickleball. I think it's similar to pickleball. But yeah, like I said, guys, I will definitely make my announcement, inshallah, as soon as I'm allowed to. You know, contractual obligations kind of restrict me from doing that. But once the people have announced it, then I will be able to announce it. And yeah, so I'll do it in a video or on a stream. What we got coming on the channel over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, obviously, we will have a reaction after the Grimsby game. We'll also be dropping a video as well. We'll have a video after the Burnley game as well. And obviously, daily dose of Minna every single day. We'll look to do a watch along over the coming weekends, just because I think I promised you guys that. So I'm going to start doing watch alongs more, God willing. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. If there's any breaking news between now and tomorrow, you lot know I will be live. And until then, I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Have a good one, guys. Peace.